Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Alien Strand Podcast. You want to learn about CE5 and extraterrestrial contact? Download my new book, now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Apple, and 14 other platforms. Book authored by Donald Ledesma. CE5, Frequencies of Contact.
The purpose of the program, Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, was really designed to do just that. From a national security perspective, identify those things that we see, whether we see them electro-optically, we see them with radar, we see them as eyewitness reports, through a myriad of different ways and avenues that we receive the information, and try to ascertain and determine if that information is a potential threat to national security.
Pilots in 2 different planes, one a Learjet, the other an American Airlines jet, reported seeing a mysterious object over Arizona last month, we have learned. The exchange with air traffic control sounded like something out of the Twilight Zone.
Number 71 Papa Golf, go ahead.
If it was anybody above us that passed us like 30 seconds ago.
Number 71 Papa Golf, negative.
Something. It's a UFO. Yeah. It's American 295. Yeah, something just passed over us. Like don't know what it was, but it's at least 3,000 feet above us. But yeah, it passed right over the top of us.
No one has figured out what it was. Other pilots did say they saw nothing.
From ET Connections on YouTube and mountain-gate.com.
And you're listening to the Alien Strand Podcast with Donald Ledesma.
Catch us on YouTube and hit like and subscribe. We'll see you there.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Alien Strand Podcast. I'm your host, Donald Ledesma. Welcome to today's show. I feel like I'm a little low right now. Hey guys, thank you for joining the show right now and this live stream. Let me turn up some light here because I'm a little low. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right. So yeah, welcome to today's show, man. I am going to I got a new camera. I don't know if you can tell. Do I look a little bit better? Probably not. Anyway, so welcome to Alien Strand Podcast. You can catch us on 28, 29 platforms. You can catch us on audio as well. We are recording live for the audio session. So if you get to miss the video podcast, you can always catch it on audio as well, because I always throw it on there. And, it's... Alien Strand, of course, we've been going since 2019, right? And we've been doing a lot of work as far as extraterrestrials, all that good stuff that comes involved with that. And I gave last week's episodes, I had two of them. I had one on 1954, I believe. There was a UFO orb craft that was caught out there, and I gave a pretty cool story that happened to these three young girls out there in where was that? Norway. Yes, it was in Norway. So and that was a really good, because they had a really up close encounter of an extraterrestrial. Right. Today I'm gonna give you guys I'm gonna show you some videos today too, but we're gonna talk about it too, as well as what's been happening in ufology today. We've been of course noticing a lot more people that are joining the ufology just all together community, man, because that's what we are. We're a big community, and we love to work together. Now, you know what? I have a good friend. He's a filmmaker. His name's Clive Christopher. Check him out. He's got a new video coming out here. He's got two of them out. Go to his webpage, his Facebook page, and you'll see the new films. I can't remember them off the bat, but he's got some pretty cool alien stuff out there, and he's got a mystery documentary of a murder mystery. So, he's doing a lot of work for you guys out there as well. So give him some props. I threw him a shout out today, a good plug in, because I think every independent filmmaker deserves a good chance, right? And it starts with us. We have to help and spread the awareness of everything that's happening, of course, above our skies and below our feet, right? Because we are in the middle. So hopefully you guys have been catching our films as well. I really appreciate that. It goes up and down, but you know what? There's some good days. We've got some really good days where people really get to catch, the films out there, and they get to do pretty good out there, and of course the first middle has been going, man. I can't believe we put that out in 2022, I believe. So, and here we are 3 years later. I can't believe it. And there it is, right? And then we have the middle 2, and now the middle 3 on Amazon Prime. They're all on Amazon Prime. But anyway, it's just, I can't believe how much it has grown, and little by little. But thank you guys for everybody that has been helping. Hey, John Dickinson, he's out there. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for watching. It's great to see you too, brother. We all work together in this game, and to some people it is a game, to some others it's real serious, right? And it can be real serious as far as the abductions and the visuals and everything that comes along with the extraterrestrial encounter, because that's what it is. It's an encounter that some people can understand and some people cannot, right? And we're always wondering, what these things really are, where they come from. And I'm always here to spread the awareness of what these little things are, right? And of course, it's crazy, but I saw this video, this actual post on X. I am on X a lot, and because it's very informative. I don't know if you guys have an X account. You should get one, because there's a lot of UFO communities out there, and they do put things that you will not see on Facebook. I swear to God, you will not see it on Facebook, and you will not see it on Instagram. And that's where I've been catching a lot of my information, because it goes there first. All right. So, and that's where the news is really coming together. Hard to believe, but yes, it is. X is actually being more of a communicative platform, to where, you can spread more information. And believe me, if there is misinformation, it'll flag it right away, and it'll tell you the exact, if that's the truth or lie or whatever, very quickly. So you won't get misinformed. All right. But anyway, I saw this woman. She put up this, let me see if I can find it, about this UFO that looks like it was stuck on the side of a building, right? On the side of a mountain in New Mexico, right? So I'm going to show you the post. So let's see if it pops up here. And when it was going, it was showing that there's a UFO or a UAP there, which looks like one on the side of a mountain, right? And that's what I was pretty much seeing at that point, right? That it almost looks like one. Now, is it a house? I don't know, because it's in the middle of nowhere. right? When you're actually looking at the picture, what you're seeing in front of you, right? So it's a possibility that, that it is one or it's not one. I don't know. It might be. But I threw it out there for you guys. I'm going to throw it out there again so you can see it one more time. And you can see that this craft is it looks like it's embedded on the side of a mountain. Now, I've seen houses that look like this as well. So, and it's kind of hard to tell sometimes. But I looked at the area, researched the area. There's no roads, no dirt roads in that area or anything like that. Could that be something lodged inside of a building? Could be somebody built a warehouse in the middle of nowhere, and why? I don't know. Maybe, man, maybe. But that's the part that we're trying to figure out of, if that was real or not, right? And it always brings us to the questions of, was that a UFO or was that a little extraterrestrial that was kind of stuck there? Is it inside of the mountain? Now, is there an extraterrestrial in there? Now, when we see these extraterrestrials, we always notice that they're, have these big, large heads, big, elongated eyes, things like that. Now, I don't know if you remember Jody Lynn Brown. She's going to be on our final film, The Middle Part 4, which I'm still editing as we speak today, right? So she was on. I had a long conversation with her because she was still catching crafts out there. Hey, Paul, Mr. Welburn from the United Kingdom. What's up, my brother? I'm glad you're watching. So she was sent me some videos, right, or photos, and then she goes, man, it looks like an ET that's in this craft, right? And I was like, okay, well, send it to me. And she did. So what I did was, I'm going to put it to you like in a sort of video form off my phone, and that way you guys can see what I was looking at, right? So there it is right there. And then I start zooming in, and then at the very top left, you can almost see the little eyeballs. You can see two big eyeballs on top of this, looks like a light of some sort, right? And it might be, right? And then to the right of it, if you start looking, it looks like another head. So it looks like two extraterrestrials, right, that are there, and it's hard to believe that what you're seeing, right? But when you keep looking at it and just look above the little light, so that you see the light, and a little bit above it, you see two eyes looking at you. And on the other side, these are crafts that are above, or orbs that are above her area, and literally up close to her, right? So I'm going to show you that again. So look at this. There it is. You see it? See that two eyes right there? I mean, it's looking right at you, right? And then I zoomed it to the right. I said, hey, Jody, there's two. So on this one, you can almost make out the little one on the right above the light. So can these extraterrestrials sort of manifest themselves on and over these crafts, right? Is it a possibility? Yeah, we've been noticing that they look more interdimensional than anything else, right? And it's kind of hard to see, so you really have to look at that photo that I just threw out there, right? Because you have to really look at it. But once you do, you start seeing it, right? And she's seeing these things all over, man. And she sent me some really good stuff. I'm only going to put that. That was just a teaser because some of that's going to be on the film. But she did send me something else that, I'm not going to show it, but it looks like a craft with smoke that's on the ground. And you could see the legs on it on the freaking ground, man. And it's literally, but it's got a lot of smoke around it. Now, how many times have we seen that these crafts have all this camouflage and smoke and everything around them, right? To where we're seeing, something that is they're disguising themselves, right? And with that brings me to why these extraterrestrials or these UFOs are usually over clouds, because they cloak themselves, they cover themselves up, especially during the day. But this one, I'm going to show you this video right here. This is on my TikTok actually, but I'm going to show it. If you guys haven't seen it, check this out. I believe it was in Florida. Hopefully it pops up. Let's see if it renders here. So I don't know if you can see that, but as it's going across the sky, you're going to start zooming in closer. You can actually see the craft and make out what it is as they talk, right? So, which is crazy as it seems, right? But you can almost make out the electronic magnetic field around the craft, right? It almost looks like it. Let me see if it'll play again. There it is. So, watch it as it goes. And it's not a balloon.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Well, he said, she says, is that a UFO? He goes, yeah, it is. So check it out. I mean, and they're just watching this thing go across the sky. Right? Florida, broad daylight, right? This is here about last month. I guess they were having a really nice day. Florida really has some really nice weather. So it's not like up north and, where there's snow and crap and muck and sleet and everything all over the place. It's they actually have a better, it's just nicer. That's why everybody moves to Florida, except for the hurricanes, right? So the hurricanes are what it is, right? But I did do some analysis on that because I wanted to make sure it wasn't a balloon, right? For sure. So I zoomed into it and then I did a heat signature analysis, so you could kind of see the electronic magnetic field around this craft. Right? Let's see if it pops up here. Yeah, there it goes. Let's take a quick 5 minutes to pay the bills. We'll be back in just a minute.
Alien Strand Podcast.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper? A woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver. If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, welcome back to the show. Let's get back to the analysis. So you can almost see the heat signature behind it, like a little small trail, but there is a electronic magnetic field around this craft, right? And we know that is a real freaking craft, that UFO right there. You can see a little bit better. And it's just hard to understand of everything that we're seeing, right? It's just floating there across the sky. Florida, where Marisol and a lot of these other friends out there, David lives in South Carolina, but they do get a lot of extraterrestrial activity out there all the freaking time, man. All the time. And it's, how do you explain that to people, right? And that's the hardest part. Explaining to them that there is an extraterrestrial, you saw something, and how do you tell them, right? It's like, well, we need better evidence. That looks more like a balloon of some sort, right? But the best thing we can do from this day forward is have our little cameras in our hands, right? So, and that's what it's about, right? David's out there. What's up, my brother? He's out there watching. So, coming to that, right? Coming to better quality cameras or what we're actually catching, right? And there's a video out there that was actually caught like on a CCTV camera, and it had really cool. This was in Germany, I believe, a year or 2 years ago, and something flies by the camera so freaking fast that this actually slowed it down just a hair, right? So you can, at the very end, you're going to see what it looks like, almost, right? So here we go. I'm going to play this for you. Hopefully it plays. Let's see. There we go. Watch this. Bam. See how fast that went across? Let's slow it down. Crazy, right? It almost looks like it has feet of some sort, but it's a craft, and I don't know what it is, man. That is hard to wrap my mind around. I've never seen anything like that before. and they happened to catch it on CCTV, right? And I zoomed into it. I didn't catch it here. I'm not going to show that today, but on that video, when I zoomed into it, I wanted to see if it was CGI and any kind of crap like that, right? And when I went into when it passed up the newspaper stand or whatever it is on the corner, you see a little paper go like this, right? And then it falls. Little paper. So something is actually taking place. There's a wind that kind of goes through as that video is going through, right? So let's just watch it one more time so you can see what I'm talking about. You have to really look at it. See the papers fly by? Look at that thing. Interdimensional? I don't know. It's like I talked about my last podcast on the audio podcast, that most podcasters now are starting to get into the interdimensional realm, right? The extraterrestrial realm, right? They're moving away from the terminology of extraterrestrial to interdimensional, right? So that's what we're doing now these days. Why they're doing that, I have no idea. But it just, I guess because more of the proof of the interdimension of these extraterrestrials is starting to come out more and more, that they're starting to blend in way too much, in that sort of sense, right? That sort of look, right? That we're trying to see that more than a physical look. This is more of a physical, look of an extraterrestrial, right? That we're used to seeing all the time. And you know, it's like I said, we're used to seeing them walking around, more of a physical sense, but now we're starting to lean more towards extraterrestrial, right? And where these things come from, we don't know, right? But the scary part is that these things do exist, right? And then there was these pictures that came in from Area 51 or whatever here in the early 2000s, 1990s, right? That we all saw the photographs of this extraterrestrial as it was moving around. We see it in a lot of documentaries, which is this video, right? So the guy actually came out and that he was the one that was there and he filmed it. He said that this extraterrestrial is real. You're looking at the real thing. They have, what you're looking at here is the real thing that they have. Have you noticed they're wearing gloves, right? In the video. So as you see them, they're kind of holding it down. You're looking at a sort of a brown looking physical extraterrestrial, big eyes, has its mouth open. I don't know if you remember the video, but it's kind of, I was looking for it. It's kind of hard to find sometimes, but it looks like it's choking on something and they're trying to help it of some sort. And the guy claims that this thing is freaking real. And you're seeing what the photographs are of a real extraterrestrial. And this is what we're always used to seeing, right? More of a physical sort of sense, right? Of an extraterrestrial being. And how do we not think that it's not real? You know, it's the parts that are coming out little by little is telling us that these things are real, right? And I say it more and more every day, you know, that they're real, because I'm looking at the evidence. I'm talking to people every day about their extraterrestrial encounters. Even when I slow down, it doesn't slow down for me. It's like, well, I'm going to take a break from podcasting. No, people still reach out to me every day, and they contact me every day. I had a guy, there's a friend of mine, David, here in Corpus Christi. You know, he tells me, man, every time I send you something, you never respond. He was mad at me. I saw him, you know, I shook his hand. I said, dude, I'm sorry, man. I don't mean to do that. But, you know, I get so many per day. It's like I look at them and I go to the next person. And when I remember, when I have time in the day, I'll go back and then I'll try to respond. I said, I don't mean to do that. And he goes, you never respond to me. So don't feel bad, guys, if I don't respond to you guys right away. That's just who I am. I don't mean to do that. It's just, hey, sorry. It's the nature of the beast. That's just the way it is, as far as me doing. Now, remember that video in China that where the photographs that we caught in China where there was this long lenticular craft that was actually shooting a beam of light down, and all we got was the photos from that video from the video, right? They never really showed the video. Well, I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember seeing this video. If you guys have seen it, let me know. But check out this video. It's the guy's gonna be talking in Chinese in the background, or Mandarin, I don't know. But just check this out.
是一段在网络上疯传的2010年杭州萧山机场 UFO 录像。从当晚的视频中，我们可以看到，夜空中出现了一个极其震撼的雪茄状飞行物，并不停地向地面喷射光水。这是一段在网络上疯传的2010年杭州萧山机场 UFO 录像。从当晚的视频中，我们可以看到，夜空中出现了一个极其震撼的雪茄状飞行物，并不停地向地面喷射光水。这是一段在网络上疯传的。
All right, so it'll play over and over, but it's pretty much looped out, and you could see how that thing's just scanning. It says, David says, maybe when they're within the dimension, they'll be more solid, and at least for a moment of the series of moments, which is what we see. Time will tell if truly it works, and I can't wait to learn. Ryan, wow, he's freaking out on what I'm showing you out there from China, but these things do happen. I'm going to play it one more time for you in audio world. It's a video from possibly the early 2000s of a UFO craft where they had to actually stop the airport in China because this craft was actually hovering over houses, and it was scanning things. So in the video, it's showing itself as I'm going to say 100 feet to 200 feet above the ground, and it's actually scanning, so you can see it really good, and it's a really nice size.
是一段在网络上疯传的2010年杭州萧山机场 UFO 录像。从当晚的视频中，我们可以看到，夜空中出现了一个极其震撼的雪茄状飞行物，并不停地向地面喷射光水。这是一段在网络上疯传的2010年杭州萧山机场 UFO 录像。从当晚的视频中，我们可以看到。
So it is 2010. That's what it's saying on the actual video, but. As you can tell, there's another craft and two more next to it. That is nuts. That's crazy, right? And they call us crazy, but we have the freaking videos, man, to show that the life is out there and life does exist. Now, when we start looking at the outer dimension or the outer parts of space are beyond our atmosphere. Let's just say outer space, right? In our own universe. Even in our own universe, in our own galaxy, right? So we have our planets that are lined up. There was just a really nice alignment that happened not too long ago, maybe about a month or two ago. And people were noticing something about that alignment, right? So this guy gets his telescope, right? Big old nice big telescope. And he zooms in to where you could see Saturn really, really clear and all its moons, right? But he ends up catching something in that moment. Luckily, he recorded it because it's a video, it's not a still. So check this out. Now look at Saturn. Around the ring, there's this big purple, kind of hard to tell, but it's moving above the ring of Saturn. Now, when I zoomed into it, it's kind of hard to tell now because that's actually zoomed in with his telescope. That purple dot that's moving with the ring, it's never been seen before. So that thing, that little dot, is probably about the size of Earth. Okay, that purple that's going around the planet. Now, it is not another moon. This actually comes out from out of the rings of Saturn and comes into it, right? So whatever it is, it's freaking huge. It is huge. Right? And it's making its way in to Saturn, right? So, around the ring. Yeah. Ryan says that has to be huge. Yes, it is. I mean, I tried to zoom into it, but of course, as soon as you start zooming in more and more, it starts to pixelate a little more and a little more and a little more, right? So they start asking questions about extraterrestrial life out there, and what is there other planets? Do you believe that there's other planets out there, like exoplanets, and that make up maybe who we are, right? Maybe we come from someplace else. Maybe somebody dropped us off, right? it just gets your mind wandering so much, right? So Jody Lynn Brown says they were going in and out of the old gypsy mine in Arizona where we lived with, and looked just like they were talking. Something came out of it, right? She says, but I couldn't be certain. So she's talking about that's Jody out there. Actually, thank you for watching, Jody. She's actually was the one that recorded that, and she has a couple of videos that will be on the last film. But when we start talking about here, do you believe that these exoplanets carry life? You know, they've already started noticing that there's this one, it says Webb's Discovery adds they found a exoplanet called K2-18b, right? Which could be a Hyacin exoplanet. NASA reported at the time, in which its potential imposes hydrogen-rich atmosphere and water ocean-covered surface. Hello, right? Of particular significance, which the appearance and detection of dimethyl sulfide on an exoplanet, which astronomers recognize that as a potential indicator of life, right? So what do you need for life? Oxygen, water, right? Minerals, breathable air. That's life, right? So, but this planet is, I don't know, maybe freaking 20, 30, 40 light years away. We'll never see it. We will never see it in our lifetime. We'll never reach there in our lifetime unless somebody makes something from Star Trek or something, which we will never see it in our lifetime. All right, we'll never get to see these exoplanets. Unfortunately, we can think about them all we can and study them, which is great. You know, of course, Elon, who wants to go to Mars, that's going to be a one-way trip. We already know that. Now, these secret programs that are out there, there's a lot of them out there, and Mr. Brian Singh, I talked to him, and he always talks about these secret programs and everything that comes along. Now, there's this website called 4chan, right? And this is where we got that egg that they just found of this guy where the helicopter was taking it, and it was an actual UAP. So, all right, let's take a quick 5 minutes. We'll be back in just a minute.
Alien Strand Podcast.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, welcome back. Let's get back to the show. On that same website, which is called 4chan, this is where everybody discloses everything. So you need to go to, if you haven't gone to it, you need to go to 4chan.com, 4chan, right? Number 4, CHAN. So go there, and this is what popped up on one of their disclosures. This is not AI. This is an old photo from, I think, 2000 or 2004. All right. This was disclosed on 4chan. What we're seeing here is a triangular UAP, which has been explained by a lot of people that when they see these triangular crafts, now what people in audio world, you're looking at a forestry area, possibly jungle-ish. There's an open spot there where there's I'm going to say as large as a football field, where there's an opening, and you see a large silver triangular craft of some sort, right? And the triangulation looks more like a arrow head, so it's got more of a pointy tip on it, right? So this is what we're seeing out there. And when this popped up on that website, I had never seen this photo ever, right? And I'm like, oh my God, right? So now we know that these things, look at the size of it. And that's what we're seeing with these crafts as they come over. And people are like, well, I saw it, but I can't tell you what it looked like. Well, there it is, right? There you go. That's what it looked like. You know, and so what I did was I kind of zoomed in a little bit with it with my phone so you guys can kind of take a little bit closer look, right? And it almost looks like it's got some heat or burnt panel, like it crashed. You see the plants on top of it and everything? Like it's been there. It's been there, and there's crap growing around it. What did that just remind you of? Huh? What did I start at this show with? Right? It's crashed, and there's crap growing around it. This one was in New Mexico, the one I'm showing you right now. On top of a freaking mountain, 4,000 feet above sea level, in the middle of nowhere, no freaking roads going to it, right? But this was out there too, right? I'm sure it's got dust and dirt everywhere on the side of it, of what it. Look at that! Look, I'm zooming in from mountain in the middle of nowhere. There's no roads, man. Look, it's in the middle of freaking nowhere, and it's embedded on the side of a freaking mountain, like it crashed there, right? It looks like broken concrete, broken rocks at the very bottom, like fresh rocks at the very bottom. And it's on the side of a mountain. That's on the side of a mountain, all right? So that's maybe a 200-foot cliff. Yeah. So, yeah. So do you guys believe in these things, that they crash? There is a crash retrieval program out there. Yes, we've heard about it over and over and over and over, right? David Aliff says, man, I'd love to find a down craft. Hey, you and me both, brother. But of course, we can be standing on it and nobody ain't going to believe you anyway, right? It's just one of those things. Oh, you're just standing on you got a blue screen behind you. That's CGI. It's the truth. That is the truth of it all, right? They're never going to believe anything that you have to say, right, about these extraterrestrials, right? And we're so used to seeing them in this physical form, like Skinny Bob right here, that we tend to not, seeing is believing for me, right? And when I start showing you all the evidence of everything that I bring to the table, to the forefront, which I have here, right? It has to get acknowledged of what it is, right? Of extraterrestrials, of what they are. Of course, when Ivan0135, he brought this out to the table, freaked out so many people because it's been out for 9 years, man. This footage, of course, it's older, but it's been out for 9 years. David Walburn says, ASDP expedition to go and find it. That's right. Let's go get it, man. Hey, you know what? They're making drones big enough to put a human on there. Fly me up there. Fly me to the moon. But they can fly me on that mountain so I can go see what the hell that is, right? Because I would really like, I don't know if I'd want to see one of these guys. I don't know. But that's just the craziest thing I've ever seen. And you got to remember, guys, that the videos are out there, man. You just have to find them and have to really analyze them yourself to make sure, right? So I'm going to show you one more video, and this one came out of the Philippines, right? The Philippines is a hot spot as well. We've seen a lot of things coming in and out of there, and it's just crazy how these things happen. Ryan says some people won't believe until the veil is fully lifted. Then we can say, I told you so. Exactly, Ryan. Exactly. And you show evidence all the freaking time, right? John says, as they are running by. Yeah, exactly, right. So let me show you this video in the Philippines of this craft. You've probably seen it. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But, check this out and let me know what you think.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
So it's a short video. Let me see if it'll play again. It's pretty cool to look at because when you zoom in, you can see this bubble around this craft, right?
Guys, nasa board. Unsa man na green. Yeah, wala unsa ka na.
Kasi ingon na.
Wow. That is a trip, right? To see something like that up close is the best thing that could ever happen to anybody, really, in reality, especially if you're into ufology, right? Especially like all of you guys with ASDP. When I mention Alien Strand Disclosure Project, it's like I always say, there's no I in team. Everybody that's on here that's watching, that's talking right now, everybody's a part of Alien Strand Disclosure Project, right? Because they're all, they've all had encounters, physical, mental, visually, everything these people have seen it up close and have had physical encounters and even abducted, right? And so the things that we talk about here today, it's some may be sensitive to some people, but at the same time, it's very disturbing at times because when I showed you the cattle mutilations and things that were happening to people behind the veil, let's just say that it was hard for people to believe of what is actually happening out there. And there's a documentary out there, and I shared it to some of the people on Alien Strand Disclosure Project. It's very dark, man. And it's an older one. This was made in the 1990s, late 90s or early 2000s. But this guy dives into the cattle mutilations, right? And he discovers that there's a lot more in that. And it's dark, man. It's a dark thing. And this is why people don't get too deep into that one, that subject, because of how dark it is. And you really, in reality, the proof is out there. You just need to go out there and discover, the everything that these social media platforms bring to you. Take it in, man, and do some research on these things. Sometimes, sometimes you might find a gem like this one right here. I thought this was a gem, and it was one of the best things I could ever find, right? Because it just kind of gives you much closure to these TR-3B, or maybe man-made or maybe not man-made. They're out there and they're up in our skies. And that's the part to where we have to embrace that part and just say, okay, who's paying for it? Yeah, we're right there. We're right there, man. We're right there. So that's just a totally different subject and podcast, all right? But anyway, we're eventually going to find out, and if they do find out, which they probably already have, they're probably gonna say, well, yeah, I don't think we can get this out to the people like today, because it's not meant for you to see, right? And that is the whole part about that, because this is the darkness that comes out of it, right? And you can't change of what things are what they are, right? And we all we can do is jump into conclusions over and over and over. But at the same time, we are still sticking with the narrative, right? Going to the narrative and finding out exactly what it is, because we want people to know what happens. And I've been thinking about this a lot. What happens? And I'm going to ask you guys out there. What do you think will happen once these extraterrestrials decide to land and, okay, they're here, they start blending in with everybody? Does this whole subject just go away, or does it keep on growing? Right? That is the part that gets me thinking. Does it grow like it keeps on spreading, because the knowledge is going to keep on growing, right, as we go. And they'll probably tell us about the beginning of time and the beginning of existence, and which I don't trust them because they're very trickster-ish, as I talked about on my audio podcast. If you guys haven't been hearing them, I really need you guys to go back and listen to a lot of the podcasts, the audio ones, because especially the recent ones, I talk about how tricksters they are. And how can you go and an extraterrestrial be in front of you, right? And, if you're going to meet one or you're going to meet a human for the first time, and somebody just starts coming out with, your planet's going to die, you're going to have nuclear bombs everywhere, and everything's going to fall out, and you better prepare for war and death. When you meet somebody, right, the first time, are you going to keep on having a conversation, or are you going to turn around and run away? That's what I'm talking about. So a lot of people that have had interactions with this extraterrestrial at first are getting these visions of this catastrophes and things that are happening. Things are blowing up, nuclear bombs, everything like that, right? And that's not a way to say hello to me, right? So, and that's why I call them tricksters. They tricking your mind of some sort, scaring you, right? So, and I'm not going to say they're all like that. No, I can't say that, because I've had different people that have come on the show, and they've talked about different ones, and they're better light beings and better light creatures, and some that have had friendly encounters with them, which is fine, right? It's just trying to understand what we are seeing up in the skies, right? And what people are experiencing as contactees, right? Experiencers. I've been saying this for a while now. Experiencers. Now that term, if you notice, every time I say something, it's weird. Every time I say something, it starts going out there, and then these big old people that are on these major podcast platforms, they start saying what I'm saying, and then it's popularized. Never heard the term until I brought the term out, right? But and that's fine. That's fine to me, because I'm not going to say, I'm the one that did it, I'm the one that found everything. No, I'm not going to be that guy, right? Like Belsode, right? I'm like him. When I watched Chris Belsode and saw how he is about the extraterrestrial activity, about how he is spiritually, how he is with everything, with the universe, everything around him, he keeps that to himself, right? But he's out there to spread awareness, but he's not there to popularize it himself. Right. And that's the way I am. I'm not trying to get on all these major networks and all this good stuff. Right. And if I did, I would definitely bring everybody with me and make sure that, because everybody that's involved with me and with everything with Alien Strand Disclosure Project that we have all put together is going to be involved in it. Right. And because all we're doing is spreading awareness. Right. And that's the best way to do it, is spread awareness with each other and help each other, and just be humble about it. Really, in reality, not to popularize yourself. I'm not this T-close kind of guy or where it's stuff. I'm not going to be out there doing something that I'm not really have I shouldn't have my hands in it. But this is what I should have my hands in, is teaching everybody out there about disclosure of what it really is, right? All right, let's take a quick 5 minutes for your commercial break. We'll be back in just a minute.
Alien Strand Podcast.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to the show. Hope you guys are liking the content that is coming out of here. You want to watch the video for this, you can find it on YouTube. Don't forget. Let's get back to the show. So, and it's crazy, right? Let's see. It says, Paul Wilbur says, short grays are the ones with the bad rap. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Jody Lynn Brown says, that's what I think in my photos of a short gray, right? So, and they're having a pretty nice, cool conversation out there, and it's one of those things that it's hard to believe until you see it, or you get to this stage, right? And a lot of people that have come on my program and my shows have been in this stage already, to where they have actually gotten abducted, and it's not a good thing for folks, right? Some of them have a decent experience to where they can actually sit down the table. They didn't do tests on them that don't remember, but and they see other people around a round table of some sort. But they've had that experience. I've had, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've had more of a 50-50 to where they're having this more of experience of being around other people, than they end up seeing them later, years later, and recognizing them because they saw them inside this craft. Right. This is what it's a 50-50 when people talk about this. And it was just one of them that just came around, and it became a short story, but it grabbed me, one with Marisol, when she told me this story. And then I met this other person, and he was telling me about his story, and they both had almost the same exact story, and it came out that those were the two that were in the in the UFO craft. How does that happen? How does that happen, Rand? Didn't know either one, but I ended up talking to him, and then it clicked, and then they both started talking after that about the experience. How does that happen? That is the most weirdest experience I've ever had in that sense, to know that abductions do happen, right? And there's an actual day for abductions. It's March 20th. So if y'all guys know, March 20th is actual Alien Abduction Day, right? So that's what that is. Every year, although, let's see, they have festivals in Toronto. They've been having it since 2008. So on March 20th. So that's Canada, right? So if you're up in that area, go check out Alien Abduction Day, right? And let's see, let's talk about the history of Alien Abduction Day. It says aliens are said to be living that exist outside the planet Earth. It's believed that aliens transport themselves through unidentified flying objects, UFOs. The first time a UFO was sighted was March 1st, 1639, by John Winthrop. Recorded in his diary, another man, James Everall, was on a boat with two other people in a river when they saw a great light in the night sky. Says when the light stood still, it flamed up. Then it ran and changed into a figure of swine. They said the men in the boat also claimed that there was a very light a light that ran very fast and was going back and forth between the village to another village just 2 miles away. It says some other people that saw the light too around the same area. After a while, the sighting of the UFO, the people in the boat actually saw themselves in a part of the river that they couldn't remember rowing their boat to. Hello. And it says, in a very strange, as it were, in today's world, it would have been recorded as the first alien abduction. So there you go. So there's a story of Alien Abduction Day, which happened in 1639. Yeah, and then we're here talking about 1947, right? And this is 1639. So there's a lot of things that have been happening over the history of time. History always plays a big part of extraterrestrials and everything that we're seeing up in the sky, aliens, UFOs, everything of the unknown. These little guys have been coming around for a long freaking time, man. And they show themselves in different forms, different ways, to where we're trying to understand, right? Especially with the one that freaked me out here was with Jody, right? And I used to see the orbs at first, and then when she started showing me these pictures and we started zooming in and looking at it a little bit more closer, I started noticing that these extraterrestrials, interdimensional extraterrestrials, hide themselves behind the orb. All right. So when you see the pictures or videos of Juanito Juan that I always post on my Facebook, you're going to notice that you will see the extraterrestrial behind the light, right? And that's what brought me to that right there. And I even showed her there was another post of somebody in the 1980s that took a picture. They something that they saw in the sky, and it had that same exact shape as this, right? Exact same shape as that, right? So, and I sent it to Jody. I said, look at this article and look at your UFO. It looks exactly the same. How does that come together like that? Man, I swear, the universe is a big thing, man. A big thing, and it plays a large role in everything, right? And sometimes it's able to connect the pieces of the puzzle together, so that way we can get a larger picture, right, of these little guys, right? Seeing is believing. These things are real. Yeah, that's what they are. Ryan says, me and David had a long conversation, and it was crazy of how much alike we were. And you're both contactees, man. Physical contactees, both of you guys are. And that is the same things both of you guys have been going through. Of course, David's is a little bit darker as well, but that's another story. But it's just one of those things that that film on Skylight Channel. I still got Skylight Channel going on, man. So go and check it out. I just threw out some brand new movies, man, that just came out. Well, it just came out for me to share. So it's out on Skylight One channel, and it's a web-based channel, right? So you can actually catch these movies on there, and I'll put the times. Like there's Wednesday, tomorrow, that film about this gentleman who's an abductee from Argentina. He's got an amazing story, and it's beautifully shot, this documentary, right? And you have to watch it because and it's on Skylight. It'll be on tomorrow all day long. It'll have that one and I believe the film Extraterrestrial Phenomenon. So both of those films will be back to back, playing all day long on Skylight One channel. It's a web-based TV channel, so there's not an app. You just watch it on your web TV or on your phone. Links, just go to Skylight One there on Facebook, and you'll see the link there, and you just click on it. It'll take you right to the films. So, but save it on your phone so that way you don't have to be looking for it all the time, right? Because sometimes I get some really good films. I've been throwing out some really new ones. And what I was trying to make a point here was that last film is that the contact that he has, it gets more into a spiritual for him, because it turns into something that was negative and something that it bothered the hell out of him, and it made him feel so bad about it, and he was scared all the time, and he cried many tears, and you'll see it in the film. I mean, it brought me to tears. We're just watching it, right? Watching him. So you get to see the true effects of what an extraterrestrial abduction has to someone. And he was only 9 years old or 10 when it happened to him, right? And he remembers this vividly. And they have backup stories to back up the other alien UFO encounters that were at the same day, the same time, right? Around the same time. So they'd all put it together to shows that this event really occurred, right? And it's a great film for you guys to watch if you are contactees or anything like that. And it'll actually it'll open up your mind a little bit to know that you're not alone in that itself. It's called Witness to the World, right? The Witness of Another World. I'm gonna see if I can put it here. You can see it on my screen. It kind of looks like that. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a Witness of Another World, right? And you'll see this guy standing there. But it's a great film, man. I can't. I've seen a lot of documentaries out there. That's a good one, all right? I'm gonna tell you right now. There's some that I'm like, all right, okay, sometimes, but that's a good one. You save that one to your favorites, right? So. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching today and watching these amazing videos and photos. Of course, thank you, Jody Lynn Brown, for allowing us to show your photos here. This will be on the film, the last final film as well for the middle. There will be no more after that. Boo! But it's okay. It is what it is. And of course, I brought you some nice new stuff that I don't know if you guys ever seen before, but it's out there. And go to 4chan.com. Go check it out. You'll see a lot of disclosure there as well. And it'll open your mind and open your eyes to a lot of things. So everything that we show you here at Aliens Transclosure Project is to open your eyes and open your mind, right? Just when you have an open mind, you're able to be more like a sponge to everything, right? You read some really good books and just kind of get some knowledge of what happens to people without having to get scrutinized or scrutinize anybody else, right? And it's not always going to be your story's going to be right. No, it's my aliens. My aliens are the ones that are not yours. Yours don't be. No, you can't say that because everybody's had different kind of, different. There's thousands of these extraterrestrials out there, so it's not just one kind. Remember that your story's not going to be like everybody else's. It might be similar. Some of these extraterrestrials might look similar, but they're going to be different. And there's just other things out there in our outer realm that we need to know what's happening. Of course, I showed you the video of Saturn, what's outside of our solar system, for you to understand that there's larger things out there that are moving around. Could it have been an asteroid or something? Maybe, but it was glowing purple. Hello? I never seen a purple asteroid. But you have to really think about it. Think about it before you say something, right? Because that's you have to do your investigations. That's just all I'm trying to say. Jordan Brown says, thank you. That was another great show. Thank you so much for watching. John Dickinson, I can't be too as far as my deal with the aliens. They do exist, right? And it's a good start to start talking about it. If you guys want to get on the show, you want to talk about it, give me a holler, send me a message. I'll be glad to put you on the show. We'll talk about your encounter, anything that's happening to you. Maybe we'll help you. Maybe we'll help fix it or point you to a direction of somebody that will probably be in the same situation as you. And I always have other contactees contact them as well, because it helps to talk about it and compare notes, right? That's the best way to do it. All right, guys, have yourselves a good day. Have yourselves a good evening, and have yourselves a good night. Don't forget Alien Strand Podcast. Listen to it on audio too. All right, man. Love you guys. Have a good day.
And Major Hector Quintanilla is now the chief of Project Lupo. Major Quintanilla, what are the objectives of Project Lupo?
As I'm standing there, I kind of, it's a very hard feeling to describe. Skinny arms, skinny legs, but I could only see about half of this thing.
It was just an eye-opening experience. There was a ship coming over the house.
It was like a white light sort of thing that we saw. It was coming out of a cloud.
The Middle Three, Consequences of Contact, now on Amazon Prime. The Middle Three, Consequences of Contact, on Amazon Prime.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa Welcome Bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.